Oh, what a time coming off of a Monday Night Raw that exists in this climate where so many of us here stateside and in Canada, where the WWE was tonight, are getting bombarded with snow. We use that as an opportunity to bring to you the most high-tech episode of Raw Recap, honestly, in the history of podcasting, is tonight, for the first time ever, we bring you the Raw Recap from 3 different locations, all at the same time. This is a WrestleMania 2 level episode of Raw Recap. Of course, I am Sam Roberts. I'll be here in the Not Sam basement in an undisclosed location. Megan Morant is here in an incredible living room in an undisclosed location. And in yet a third undisclosed location with some of the most gorgeous wallpaper man has ever seen. Big E is here on the Raw Recap. Welcome, guys.
What's going on, Big E? I love that peel and stick, baby. Looks good.
Thank you very much. I did not do the work myself, but it's pretty. It's pretty. Yeah.
That's all it look. As long as you look good in front of it, it doesn't matter who did the work.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
That's how I've always said. Megan, are you surviving? I mean, E, you don't have a lot of snow near you, I would imagine.
No. Northern California has been spared, thankfully.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Megan, Connecticut, not so lucky?
Oh, you just disclosed my location.
Well, no, Connecticut's one of the big states. I didn't say
big state.
Big state. One of the biggest.
Yeah, we're surviving over here. Look, I mean, it was a different night. It was very bizarre not watching Monday Night Raw with you. We've done so every single week for countless amount of weeks.
That is right.
I did not expect to see a World Heavyweight Championship match tonight.
Okay. Yeah. We have to talk about this, okay? Because you're right. I did not expect to see a World Heavyweight title match on Raw myself, especially CM Punk versus AJ Styles. To me, this is one of the conversations that I heard a lot when AJ Styles put that stip up, when he announced that he would accept Gunther's challenge. He would put his career on the line in this match against Gunther. And the what if conversation started immediately. Because when you're talking about Gunther, there's a pretty good chance that he's going to win. And if he's going to win, AJ Styles is done 1 month into the year that he said was going to be his last year in professional wrestling. And one of the matches that people kept bringing up, either in the sense that like, oh, wouldn't it suck if we didn't get, or no, AJ can't actually retire at the Rumble because we haven't gotten, with CM Punk versus AJ Styles. That was the match that I heard. And when this match gets made out of nowhere, at first I go, oh, number 1 contender, that's going to be an interesting wrinkle, because as you're watching Gunther and AJ, you know on the other side of this there is some there's some light for AJ Styles. If he can get through this, he's the number 1 contender. When Punk turns it on its head and goes, no, we're going to do the championship match tonight, I got a text from this Morant lady immediately. Oh, my God, we're getting a title match tonight? AJ's going to get the title. AJ's going to get the title. And I've got to tell you, I feel like a fool because, Megan, you were there last week. E, I'm sure you were listening. We said, oh, Finn Balor, he reminded us. Finn Balor, he's got to be a hero again. He's got to be the old Finn Balor. It's just the best having the old Finn Balor back. And of all the things to ruin, for Finn Balor to ruin, you want to be a bad guy, to ruin AJ Styles versus CM Punk and to give us that as a finish, I mean, it destroyed the whole buildup of the night.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to have AJ Styles as your new World Heavyweight Champion. And then we're going to have maybe CM Punk. He enters the Royal Rumble. And then what could possibly happen? Like, my brain was going a million different directions, trying to, figure out what's going to happen Saturday at the Royal Rumble. And meanwhile, Finn Balor just surprises all of us after backstage earlier in the night. We saw him, recognizing CM Punk and having that interaction. But shortly after that, we also saw him with Liv Morgan.
He got me. I was so excited for this new turn, a new Finn Balor, getting to be, and I think of him as a peer of a CM Punk, of an AJ Styles. Those guys, they really changed the game. What they did on the indies really helped shape what wrestling looked like in WWE for years to come. And the thought of Finn breaking from the Judgment Day, carving out his own path, making a world title run as a beloved, even just getting to see glimpses of his old entrance the week prior and seeing the way the fans in Ireland took to him. Like, that was such a beautiful moment. And I thought for a split second we were going to get that Finn Balor again, and we were robbed. We were all robbed.
Yeah. Not only were we robbed of getting that Finn Balor, but that Finn Balor robs us of that Finn Balor and then also robs us in a real finish to this CM Punk AJ Styles match. Like in one fell swoop. We're sitting there going on two levels, and E, I'm sure you were right there with me, going like, oh, this is great. Like, looking forward, we're either going to get CM Punk and this great title retaining moment, or like Megan, you just said, AJ Styles walking into the Rumble now as champion, and now we're sitting there like, is Gunther going to be the world champion? Is he going to retire AJ Styles and get the belt? Is he not going to be able to retire AJ Styles? Now somebody wins the Rumble and fights AJ Styles, and maybe Finn Balor will do this, and he's going to be a good guy now, and this is going to happen, and like everything that you were just excited for just poof, went up in a cloud of smoke at the end of the show.
Flashed in front of your eyes in mere moments. And it was funny because, during the AJ CM Punk match, I was thinking a lot about that Finn Balor CM Punk match that we talked about, Sam, on the show last week. And we were talking about how Punk, he always just seems to capitalize on one moment. And
Yes.
that's really been the story of CM Punk's title reign. And I was just so intently watching, waiting for this moment that CM Punk was going to be able to take advantage of AJ Styles and hit the go to sleep and retain his title. And out of nowhere, like Finn Balor I did not see it coming all throughout the night. It completely threw me for a surprise.
And I need to know the motivation. Like, why? Why are we doing this? Because Punk was cordial to you? Because he raised your hand last week? Because he suggested that maybe breaking away from the Judgment Day could be really great for your career? He gave you his flowers. Give me the reason, Finn. I need to know the reason, because you disrupted an incredible match. Maybe the last time we ever see CM Punk and AJ Styles in a ring together, and to be robbed of that finish. I need to know the reason. Give me the reasons. What are the reasons? And interestingly too, I was waiting to see if Finn would go back and attack AJ, what his motivations were, if it was both of them, but he was really laser focused on Punk, and it seems like this feud with Punk is just beginning between him and Balor.
Well, a couple of things to what you just said, E. Number one, you're right. If that was the last Raw, and by the way, we could talk about this, but like AJ Styles looked particularly emotional starting that match. He looked like one of those, I'm soaking this in now because this might be the last one on a Monday night. That's what it looked like, not like a wrestler telling a story, but like a man soaking it in and going like, this is my moment. And these are all details that we're going to be paying attention to when you've got, a stipulation like you've got in the match with Gunther.
And really over the last 7 days, like that has started to, that thought of this could be the last for AJ Styles has really started to feel like more of a real possibility, especially after Saturday night's main event and that match against Shinsuke Nakamura, both of the entrances, just the way the match played out tonight, getting the match against CM Punk. Like, it really has me questioning, oh my gosh, like, is AJ Styles' career going to be ended by Gunther at the Royal Rumble? And when he's making his entrance, you're thinking like, shoot, this could be AJ's last Raw ever.
And I will say the one thing I respect, if this is it, we're not seeing a diminished version of AJ Styles. We never saw a diminished version of it. I don't even think he missed a beat a little bit. There was some discussion with Cena and his run, whether he still had it at some point, still put on great matches. But you started to wonder if he wasn't quite the same Super Cena we were used to. I haven't had that question once with AJ. I've seen someone who, I've had a chance to talk to him about this being the last year in the locker room. And he's someone who takes so much pride in his work. He is someone who refuses. He doesn't ever want fans to see even a slightly diminished version of AJ Styles. And the thing is, like, man, he could go into his 50s. I really think so. With the way he takes care of his body, he still has the same athleticism he had when I first was in the ring with him, a decade ago. His run is really, truly remarkable. To be at his age in his late 40s and to still be so crisp, man. if this was indeed his last Raw, what a run. What an incredible run. I know we're not here eulogizing him yet. I know he still has that opportunity to beat Gunther and keep competing in his career. But man, truly the best guy from a technical standpoint I've ever been in the ring with. The blend of explosiveness, of creativity, of technical, he just has it all, truly has it all. And a guy that really shaped the industry in such a beautiful way.
And interesting, too, that he put out there at the beginning of the show, this ain't the plan. Saying goodbye tonight isn't the plan. Saying goodbye on Saturday isn't the plan. That he flat out said, I watched what Cena did. I've seen the way people can go out. There's a lot of guys I want to have one more match with. I felt that moment with Shinsuke at Saturday night's main event. I want to have a year. I want to have 2026 the way John Cena had 2025. I want to have 2026. And I think that it was really important for him to say that, because I think that people felt like the match with Shinsuke was kind of like it had last hurrah vibes. Mm-hmm. And the idea that he gets this match with CM Punk tonight, it's like, okay, are we giving this guy flowers on his way out? And I think it was really important for AJ to go, no, like, I'm going to keep getting these flowers for the entire year the same way John got to do it. And honestly, I mean, he got to feel that firsthand, because I can't think of a match that John got more flowers for on his retirement run than the one with AJ Styles.
And listen, there's still a lot of people that are, want to match with AJ Styles. We saw Javon Evans backstage talking to AJ Styles as the show progressed.
You talking about Unk?
Yeah.
AJ talking to Unk, teaching him the slang? Bet?
The amount of times you call people Unk on our show is ridiculous.
Some people it's complimentary to some, and others take it as an insult, and I can never tell.
So just keep throwing it out.
I'll tell you this. Liv Morgan, even next to Roxanne Perez, did not appreciate being called Unk.
I'm sure she did.
No,
but look, when you've been around for a little bit, you get that Unk crown. But look, Sam, I understand that AJ might not be preparing for this to be the end. But I think about, look, none of us are excited about or looking forward to dying, but we get our affairs in order. We get our life insurance. We pick out our burial plot. And I think in many ways, we're seeing an AJ Styles who, of course, he plans on beating Gunther. He plans on moving forward. But in many ways, I see an AJ who is taking stock. I love the Shinsuke match. I thought we saw a revitalized, that's the word, a revitalized version of Shinsuke. The match they had at Saturday night's main event, incredible. Because it feels in many ways like AJ saying, if this is it, let me have the classic match with Shin. Let me have the match with Punk. Let me get all these big matches that people have wanted to see out of the way. He got the opportunity to have this great tag team with Dragon Lee, even like Javon just getting to rub shoulders with him in this backstage. I hope this isn't it, but in many ways it feels like a man who is taking stock of his career and of his life, and he is getting the things that he really wants to do at the very tail end of his career. He's getting them out the way just in case there isn't a tomorrow, that this is indeed the last Monday Night Raw. Let me get out the performances that the people have really wanted. It's bittersweet, man. It's really bittersweet.
Are you going to be on the post show for Royal Rumble?
I will be there.
Yes, well, indeed. I mean, Godspeed to you, because if AJ Styles gets retired by Gunther at the Royal Rumble and his last match with CM Punk got ruined by Finn Balor, and this is it for AJ, you're going to be talking over a lot of loud noises on that post show again.
A lot of booze.
A lot of booze.
Absolutely.
This is what Gunther does. Gunther not only ends careers, but then he makes your life a lot more difficult trying to get a point out while they are just booing to the high heavens.
That's what he does. And the people do not care. They're going to express themselves, and they have every right to.
Yes, they are. Now, let me tell you this. A minute ago, you were asking why. Why, Finn? Why? And I'll tell you why. It's because I don't have any clue what is going on with Adam Pearce right now. And the maniac that this man has become, just willy-nilly, just making decisions here, taking him back there, adding another one here, taking this one back there. But I will tell you, and you would have experience with this as a WWE superstar, somebody that's been in many Royal Rumbles, a couple I just watched with my son, bringing him up to speed over the weekend. He got very, very excited when you put down that plate of pancakes for Kofi to step on, and you saved your partner in that Rumble. That was a great one. But I swear, in all the time that I've been watching, WWE superstars are allowed to declare for the Royal Rumble like they're Michael Scott declaring bankruptcy. Like they just shout it out and it happens. I have never in my life, heard somebody go like this. Rumble's full. What? What do you mean the Rumble's full? First of all, we only know like 12 people in it. So how could it be full? It's full. Finn Balor, after everything he did last week, goes to Adam Pearce. And Adam Pearce just like, he's John Candy outside of Wally World in National Lampoon's Vacation. Says, go ahead and turn around. Park's
oh my
closed.
Gosh, you have the references tonight.
Well,
Sam.
I couldn't
All the
believe it.
references.
I couldn't believe it. It was outrageous when Adam Pearce just looks at Finn Balor in the face as if this is a real thing to say and says, the Rumble's full.
Well, he did add all members of the Vision tonight on Raw.
Well, guess what? Was that it? We only had 4 left? And that's what he decided to do? Just put all the Vision in? And by the way, if that is the case, why did he do that? He didn't look at Monday Night Raw and go, hey, you know who was great on my show last week? Finn Balor. Maybe I should just save a spot for him? No?
Adam Pearce is in a little bit of a predicament right now where he has to do whatever Paul Heyman and the Vision say.
Okay, but, well, now we get into this other thing. He said, and Bronson Reed is in it, and Logan Paul is in it, and Austin Theory is in it, and Paul Heyman did not look happy. Paul Heyman did not look like his plan was fulfilled. Paul Heyman looked like he had been kind of knocked off of his game a little bit. And even when they're in the back, and Logan Paul is like making this declaration, all for one and one for all, Paul Heyman's on the phone with somebody. He's not a part of this. So that wasn't Heyman's plan. That was for some reason. And I don't know if it's the same person calling Paul Heyman as was the same person calling Adam Pearce, and they're trying to figure out like who's on whose side here. But either way, all these spots get taken up. CM Punk tells Finn Balor to join the Royal Rumble, and Finn Balor finds out it's full. Have you ever been told that, Big E, that the Rumble's full?
That is the first time I've heard it. But we do know there are just 30 spots. That's it. Just 30. You can't just, it's not willy-nilly. It's not a random number. It's just the 30 slots. And look, if that is indeed the truth, if the Rumble is indeed full, completely slotted out, for me, that makes me excited. Because if a superstar of the caliber of Finn Balor is told, I'm sorry, we have no room for you, it must mean we got some heavy hitters, maybe some surprises, maybe some new signings, maybe debuts, maybe returns. I don't know. If the lineup is that stacked, I'd like to think we got some big heavy hitters coming.
I would think so. I mean, all the names, like this is a Royal Rumble. When you look at who's in that match, this is one of those rare ones where it's like there are like several people in this match that you could sit there and debate. Well, this one could win. That one could win. When you're talking about like Cody and Gunther and Roman and everybody.
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker is now in this thing. I mean, Logan Paul is in this thing. You tell me Logan Paul couldn't win the Royal Rumble? Doesn't that sound like the type of thing he would just do to get everybody upset?
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think that this is, and we said it last year too, but this one might even be more so. Potentially the most star-studded Royal Rumble that we've seen in a long, long, long time. But still, to go to Finn Balor after last week and tell him the Royal Rumble is full, you put him into a corner. I blame Adam Pearce on this 100%, like the whole way.
Well, and if indeed the Royal Rumble is full and Finn Balor wants an opportunity at the World Heavyweight Championship, he certainly took matters into his own hands. Rumble's full. I have to go out there tonight and make another statement.
You know what he should have done? He should have done that to somebody that was in the Rumble, put him in the hospital, take their spot.
That's more strategic.
That would have been the move.
That's not a bad idea. That actually,
Thank you.
That's actually a good call, Sam. But he should have declared. All you got to do, that's what history has taught us. All you got to do is make sure a camera is rolling. Any WWE camera, could be digital, could be Raw, SmackDown, Evolve. Just jump in front of a camera and say, I declare, I'm in.
That's right.
You're in. That's on him.
Nash is running around back there. Nash Wiener's running around back there with a camera. Jump in front of him. Declare right now.
Take some initiative.
Yeah. No, you're
Shut
probably
up and
right.
Evolve. Shock the world.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what. one thing I got very, very excited about right before the main event, they tried to sneak it in on Monday Night Raw. The big Obafemi graphic comes up. And then, boom, it hits you with the Royal Rumble logo, and you go, I mean, that was one of the names. When you talk about, like, surprises that might come up, I think Oba was looked at as, like, the perfect guy to debut in a Royal Rumble. But the fact that we know, like, watch this show because Obafemi is making his official main roster debut in the Royal Rumble. And by the way, Obafemi, the last time we saw him on a main roster show, it was Saturday Night's Main Event, right? In the match with Cody Rhodes. He put his hands on Drew McIntyre.
He did.
Drew McIntyre is the WWE champion.
Oof,
Are you telling me there's not a world where Oba shocks the world, wins this whole thing, and
Shocks the world. Shocks the world.
You wouldn't be shocked?
Look, look, Sam, I've refinanced my house because I'm betting it all on Obafemi. What do you mean? That's easy money. Shocks the world. Who would be shocked? Have you seen this man?
Yeah.
Have you seen his size, his speed, his dexterity? Have you seen the way he moves? That's not shocking the world. The man is 300 pounds. Do you see the way he runs towards the corner? He moves like he's 150 pounds.
Yeah.
At 300 pounds. Who would be shocked? I wouldn't be shocked. I think if you're shocked by Obafemi winning the Royal Rumble, you're a fool.
Oh, wow. And
Fool. Yeah, I said it.
You're an Oba feminist.
I am indeed an Oba-feminist.
he bet his whole house
I'm
on
a
it.
feminist as well, but also an Oba-feminist. Yes.
I support both of those things.
Yes.
That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. They're both beautiful.
Absolutely.
That is true. I mean, when we interviewed Oba for this podcast on Saturday Night's Main Event on John Cena's final match,
Why didn't you call me? Why wasn't I there for that?
I mean, you should have been there.
You were busy. You had a lot of things to do.
You had a
were
lot
all
going
over the
on.
place.
But bro, when the video came out, I was like, I don't even look. I was sitting next to Obafemi, and I was like, this was the worst decision I've ever made in my life. Like, it looked like it was one of those like museums where two people are standing in the same room, but it looks like one is like, you know, like a quarter of the size of what a normal human could be, and the other is a giant. Like, it was insane looking at that thing, looking at the video, and just going like, that. It's a real life giant. It's a real life monster come to life and just here. And he had so much confidence too. Just like it's almost like he's become fully aware of everything that you just said. That's where it gets dangerous, right? When people, it's not like you see it in him and it's like, boy, just wait till he realizes it. No, he's come to terms with it, and he's pretty ready to execute upon it.
He knows. He knows who he is, and that's what I love. And it's not an arrogance. It's just a confidence that he knows he's the man. You remember how interviewers used to have to do a split to make superstars look taller? You need to do the opposite. You need to ensure every time you do an interview with Oba, I think you need to kindly and be very. I think you need to ask him to do a split, and you should probably stand on a couple Apple boxes as well.
Yeah.
Right. Just to
Just to kind of
try to even it out. Yeah.
I don't have to do any Tom Hannafin tricks.
I used to have to do a deep squat backstage. Deep.
You did?
You're tall. You're tall. Yeah. You need a split. And barefoot too, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. You gotta lose the heels.
I do, before we move on, because I want to talk about the vision. But I also want to tell you guys about a very, very exciting thing I saw earlier today on WWE Shop and Fanatics. We've talked before about the Rhea Ripley, who we'll talk about at a great appearance on Raw tonight, but the crossover collaboration that she's been a part of with Art the Clown and Terrifier. There is new Rhea Ripley Terrifier collab merch that is available now. Love and Brutality, perfect for Valentine's Day. It's Rhea and Art together. They've teamed up again with an official collab. It's live right now on WWE Shop and Fanatics. Add some edge to your collection with these tees today. I mean, Art the Clown, Terrifier, Rhea Ripley together. Absolutely incredible. And with the Royal Rumble coming right up, don't forget to celebrate WWE's most unpredictable event with Royal Rumble merchandise and superstar gear from WWE Shop and Fanatics. If you're having a Royal Rumble party, you got to show up dressed right and representing one of like the true classic WWE PLEs. Shop now on WWE Shop and Fanatics and be ready for all the chaos of the Royal Rumble. And I think that there will be chaos in the Royal Rumble because of what we saw with the Vision. You guys brought it up. The fact that, like, we knew going in to Monday Night Raw that Braun Breaker and Adam Pearce would be having this meeting, if you will. And Paul Heyman had done this amazing job, to no one's surprise, of compiling the evidence that he could show to everybody before Adam Pearce even walked out. When you have already established your argument before the other person even appears on screen, you know the other person's in trouble.
And he had video evidence. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing Adam Pearce can do to deny any of the claims.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, he was really obnoxious. It's like, okay, well, you still did the things. You did all this stuff that you're accused of. But, I found it interesting. Adam Pearce comes out and he says that Braun Breaker's suspension's been lifted. Braun Breaker is in the Royal Rumble. Paul Heyman is happy by this. Then Adam Pearce says, also, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Bronson Reed are in the Royal Rumble. Paul Heyman does not look pleased by this, and then says, we're going to give Austin Theory a chance to redeem himself. We're going to do a match with Rey Mysterio right now. And still, Paul Heyman did not seem overly enthused by this at all. And Adam Pearce didn't come across to me as doing this in a begrudging way. Did I misread any of that?
No, I don't think so at all. I have a bit of a theory that I want to posit. So Paul has been very open over the last several months about Braun Breaker being the future. To me, it seems very clear that he has eyed not just, hey, we'll make sure the Vision brings home a world championship, but that Braun Breaker specifically is the first one, that he is the guy. And I think that he had a plan to use the rest of the Vision. Look, if they're on the outside, they can interfere, they can run out, they can distract, they can do all kinds of things. But look, that's a lot of egos to manage. If they're all in the ring, are they really going to be of service to Paul's mission? Are they all going to be focused on making sure, okay, let's work as a team, let's eliminate everyone else, and then, you know what, let's kindly take our exit to make sure that Braun is indeed our first world champion since Seth Rollins? I think that Paul had a plan, and everyone being in. Now, are you really going to tell Austin Theory if he's cooking in the Rumble, actually cook a little less and make sure that Braun goes on? If you have all of these horses in the race, surely they're like, I'm trying to win this thing myself. It's a lot more difficult to manage those egos and those characters when they're all in there fighting for themselves. If they get an opportunity, why not take it? Maybe they say, you know what, Braun Breaker, I'm going to dump you behind your back. You're out. It's my time now. I think that Paul had a plan to use all of these puppets to make sure that Braun was the guy. And now, who knows? Who knows?
Listen, Biggie, a couple weeks ago, I was saying the exact same thing as you, especially after Braun Breaker lost the World Heavyweight title match to CM Punk. I was saying, what does the future of the Vision look like? How can they all operate as a unit? Braun had his chance and he didn't deliver. He didn't win the title. So how is Logan Paul going to sit back there and say, okay, we're all behind Braun Breaker? But as the Vision has kind of evolved and moved on in the coming weeks, I firmly believe that they're all for one and one for all. I mean, we never see Logan Paul just showing up at a Monday Night Raw. But Sam, you and I talked about this last week on the Raw Recap Show. It seems as though Logan Paul, love him or hate him, is actually now operating as a full timer. And all of these guys are standing right behind Braun Breaker. And we saw that moment backstage while Paul Heyman was on the phone with someone and they're strategizing for the Rumble. They really are working as a team. I don't want to believe it either because there's a lot of egos, but that's everything we've seen the last several weeks.
Yeah, there's no direct evidence to tell you that there are any problems here. First of all, I do think, E, that you should push forward based on previous Royal Rumble moments that we were just talking about. If you are on the outside of the ring helping your teammate who is still entered in the Rumble, I believe that they should start calling that pancake position. And that, and that way, I think that could be really good. But you don't always have to use pancakes. It's just that's what it's called. I think I was surprised. I was ready for the old sort of we're not getting along when Logan Paul said, we have an advantage. There's 4 of us. We can go in there and take advantage of this match. We should all agree that one person is going to win. When Logan Paul stood up, every bit of my instinct would say, oh, this guy's just trying to get the big guys to have his back. But Logan Paul, now look, Logan Paul will lie. So we do have to put that out there.
Yes.
However, he's the one that said it should be Braun. And Austin Theory said, I'm down. And Bronson Reed said, yep, you're right. I'm down. And, it's never really been done all that successfully in the Royal Rumble that a faction like this would come in and work together. But theoretically, if it was, they'd be a force to be reckoned with. Now, okay, but this, E, and this is going back to your point about Paul Heyman having a plan. Let's say, God forbid, Braun Breaker goes in early. Braun Breaker gets eliminated from the Rumble before the other Vision members are even there. Well, now what's the plan? Now does the plan go out the window? And do you have a scenario where somebody else wins the World Heavyweight title and Paul Heyman's got a deal now with the fact that, we were positioning this guy as the guy, except now this is the one that's going to WrestleMania to fight, Drew or Punk or whoever's got the title.
And how do you figure that out? Who is it? Is it Bronson Reed? Is he the guy who's? Oh, do you have a plan B, C, and D in case everyone's thrown out early? It is also just very difficult for me to believe that Logan Paul is now a full-timer, and you're telling me he is now going to be here in service of other people. Have you ever known him as a magnanimous, giving, thoughtful man at all? That he is here to prop up his other stablemates because he's a great team player? There is nothing in his history that makes me think that's what he's here for. I think he is someone who is laying low. He is waiting for the right opportunity. And who knows, maybe that opportunity is at Rumble. Maybe it's at WrestleMania. Maybe it's not even this year. But I think he is someone who is always looking for that opening. And I just can't trust that all 3 of those gentlemen are going to say, yes, Braun is indeed the guy. Let's go out of our way to be selfless. So I don't know. To your point, if Braun does go out early, I don't know what the plan is. It's very hard for me to conceive that all 3 of them are going to be okay deciding, okay, Bronson, you're the guy. We're all going to work for you. Or Theory, you're the guy. I struggle to believe that.
Yeah, I believe the greatest of all time described Logan Paul as a parasite on the industry. So, that's how some perceive it. And a parasite is generally not there for the betterment of its host.
He was also described tonight as the most famous personality on the face of the planet.
A lot of people know who Logan Paul is. I don't know if he's the most famous, but for good or bad reasons, there's not that many people. When I tell people, I was literally having a conversation with somebody today who does not watch wrestling, explaining to them the Royal Rumble and talking to them about what's going on in WWE. And when I brought up Logan Paul, they went, what? Because they were like, you mean Logan Paul? Logan Paul? I was like, yeah, that's exactly the Logan Paul that I'm talking about. He does have that fame. It's an important asset in the Paul Heyman group. But I do want to say too, Austin Theory looked incredible in this match with Rey Mysterio this week.
He did.
Really great showing for Austin Theory. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think the question, at least for me, I've been in the ring with him. The dude is super talented. He's in great shape. I think for him, it's really just about what's upstairs. It's just about the mental. And not saying he doesn't have the IQ from a wrestling standpoint to be the best. I think it's just getting in the right position. And I think hopefully the thought is it could be the vision to get him the confidence he needs, to get him the momentum he needs. But man, he's got it in the ring as far as technical ability, strength, speed, all of that. Dude's got it. And what you talk about a bag, people talk about a wrestler's bag, their moveset, the things they can pull out. Austin Theory has one of the most creative bags you will see in our industry. The dude has a variety of offense. For a guy who is not, look at him again, with Rey Mysterio, he moves agilely and he is so much bigger than Rey. He is put together. So for me, that was never the question. It's, can he put wins together and get on a track and have a path towards a title or have a real direction? So we'll see in the coming months.
Yeah, I believe the ataxia is the move that they said was his creation, and that, I mean, it's amazing. It's an amazing thing. But with all this conversation, by the way, about the Vision, and there's 4 of those guys in the Rumble, and this guy's I mean, Obafemi being in the Rumble, you bet your house that Obafemi was going to win this Royal Rumble. The house.
Yep. Sorry, babe. If we are homeless, that's on me.
Yeah.
That's on me. We'll figure it out.
This was going to be the house where your blossoming family would be, and you might not have it because a graphic came up on the screen.
Yep.
And you know what it
I
said?
believe.
But you're ignoring the fact that just before that graphic came on, another graphic came on that said Roman Reigns is going to be in the Royal Rumble. And I feel like Roman Reigns in his absence has allowed people to forget. Like it wasn't that long ago that it was infuriating. I mean, Big E, you existed on the roster while it was happening. You were there as WWE champion. When Roman Reigns was winning so much, it was obnoxious. Like there was just nothing that could be done to stop this guy. And if Roman has decided, and he said last year, it's going to be a big 2026. If Roman has decided that 2026 is even going to smell like 2023, like the first half of 2024, if he decides that, everybody's going out. It's Roman's match.
Yeah, I actually didn't sign the paperwork yet on that refinancing. I might actually, now that you mention it, I might need to take I'll take another day or two before I sign. You make a great point. Look, it is very hard to root against or bet against the big dog, especially he's a guy whom we might not see for a few months. But I always look, is there rust? Is he not as focused? Is he not as locked in when you see him come back? But every time you see Roman come back after a layoff like that, man, does he come back. Somehow he comes back in even better shape, even when it seems impossible. He comes back even sharper, even more focused. So it's going to be very difficult to bet against Roman. I think it's, now that you mention it, maybe there is another favorite to consider, maybe.
I feel like you two are just forgetting somebody extremely important when you're talking about, putting up your assets when it comes to the Royal Rumble on the men's side, and that's Gunther. I mean, I just don't understand right now how you can even talk about the Royal Rumble and the winner of the Royal Rumble without mentioning Gunther's name.
That is true. There's been so much attention paid to the AJ Styles match that the double duty of it all isn't even being considered. That's the guy who looked at Michael Cole's face and said, "I'll end your career too." I mean, that was so uncalled for. The fact that Michael Cole just had to sit there because he knows he's right. He could tear out his larynx right there. How are you going to call a match without a larynx, But yeah, I mean, Meg, you're not wrong. I mean, the idea, that's the thing about Gunther. That's why there was, I mean, it was not a nice magic, but there was a magic to the way that he beat John Cena, because now Gunther's in that rare position where any match that he's in, regardless of if it's a retirement match with AJ Styles, regardless of if it's a 30-man Royal Rumble match, to not say what you just said and say, well, Gunther's got a pretty good chance of winning is ludicrous.
Can you imagine the boos echoing throughout Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and then Gunther's maniacal laugh, just soaking it all in and loving every second of the hatred and vitriol that's being pushed at him? Like, he loves it. You heard his laugh tonight on Raw at the end of that sit-down interview with Michael Cole, and it's been haunting me throughout the night.
Imagine if he does both. Retires AJ Styles and wins the Royal Rumble. You want to talk about one of the greatest nights ever in WWE history, and a guy like Gunther, look, he could go 30 minutes with AJ, and he could go another hour in the Rumble and get it done. He is a machine. You talk about it, you see a big guy, and you think, all right, he'll wear it down. He doesn't have the stamina. If anyone can do it, I think it's Gunther.
My God. Well, if he does both, that ring is going to look like Bash at the Beach 96. It's going to be just garbage everywhere. The fury of this audience. But I've got to tell you, when we talk about all these different possibilities, it's because this roster is so very, very large. Luckily, You can step into the ring with the debut of Topps Universe WWE that is coming to hobby. Yes, it's a bold, cosmic-inspired take on WWE collecting, and I talk about this roster because Topps Universe WWE features a massive 300-card base set. Hall of Famers, current champions, rising prospects, stunning galactic patterns, and vibrant color parallels bring every superstar to life. Every box guarantees 2 autographs and 1 relic. So you get big hits in every single rip. Chase short printed inserts highlighting iconic storylines, rivalries, unforgettable WWE moments. Whether you're hunting grails or you're building a rainbow, Topps Universe WWE is your ringside seat to the hobby's next heavyweight release. Find Topps Universe WWE on Topps.com and in stores very soon, January 30th. So you want to check it out. Megan, when we are talking about people who have declared for the Royal Rumble, of course we have to talk about...
You talking about my girl? The intergalactic champion, Becky Lynch?
Continental is the name of the title that she holds.
Intergalactic?
There's
I think
no...
it would be intergalactic. She actually changed the name of the title.
Well, yeah,
You're being very toxic right now.
I know I'm not. Don't bring Kit Wilson in here and start telling him that because you know I love Kit Wilson. That's my guy.
You're giving a lot of toxic energy.
No, I wear pearls. I do the whole thing. No
Gotta keep
toxic,
you
no
in check.
toxic masculinity over here. If anything, Becky Lynch is toxic towards me, but that's neither here nor there. As Intercontinental Champion, she is walking in to the Royal Rumble match. I mean, I don't know why she had to tell Kyrie to tell Asuka what she had just said, as if Asuka did not fully understand what that woman next to her just said.
Well, because Kyrie didn't remember that Becky Lynch has beaten Asuka several times. And actually, it's the Kabuki Warriors' fault that Becky Lynch's team did not win at War Games.
How so?
Because she was calling everybody over. We've seen the footage millions of times now. She was saying, "Get over here, get over here." It was on the vlog, which I know you're a big consumer of Becky Lynch's vlogs.
I'm not a consumer. I'm an reluctant participant of. I've not signed up. I decided no releases, and then I click this vlog, and it shows me doing my work at WWE. It shows me at SiriusXM. It's my own footage that she doesn't have the rights to. It's insane, this vlog and the attacks.
You should be so thankful. She's
Okay.
just elevating the audience of your work, exposing it, to more people. You should be very thankful for everything that Becky Lynch is not only doing for the Intergalactic Championship,
That's
but
not the name.
also for your show. But I'm excited. I think, Becky Lynch right now in the Royal Rumble, like she's probably the slickest wrestler that we've ever seen, slickest in the biz, big time Bex. I don't know if there's any way that anybody right now could stop Becky Lynch in the run that she's on.
Megan, you're really drinking the Kool-Aid. I will say, be careful. There's a history of Kool-Aid drinking that I would be a little careful about. It's just look. Becky is she's got away with words, but I don't know. This field is really, truly, truly stacked. And look, Becky is arguably the greatest to ever do it, and I think she's incredible. I will say, let's maybe take a step back and take a moment to realize that she's reeling you in. She's got a hook in the mouth, and she's got you, Megan. She's got you.
She's very manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you guys are just trying to do the thing that you do where
What, broadcast?
No. I think, there's a reason that she calls you scam robbers because you
Okay.
spread lies. And there's a reason, that she's after people like you and like Pipsqueak, Peter Rosenberg. Biggie, I don't think she has a name for you yet.
Thankfully.
But that's definitely coming as well, especially if you keep this up. But,
You're gonna get
but I'm
caught.
excited to see Becky Lynch in the Royal Rumble. And look, I mean, Becky's not the only one who's had her issues. Like we see the fury coming out of Natalya. We saw that a little bit tonight on Raw as well.
Oh, I love that.
So a
Well,
lot of people getting fed up backstage.
It was getting fed up with, I guess, Mid Maxine, as she was referred to.
Mid,
So
yes,
Mid
that's it.
Maxine.
Yes.
This was the quote: Natalya elevates, Natty decimates.
Oof.
I've got to tell you, there's something that I love about somebody who has spent so long building up the people around her, building a division, allowing people to have the kind of success. It's almost like that movie, The Prestige, where the actual magician has to stand under the stage and listen to the person that they propped up get all this applause. At some point, that magician under the stage has had enough. At some point, that magician under the stage wants to feel what that person on top of the stage is feeling like. And I feel like Natty is maybe watching people that are her peers, watching the John Cenas, the AJ Styles, these people go like, okay, like, you know, like a career has a length on it and you have to do what you can when you can. And I think Natty is done being there to help everybody else and is maybe wanting to have a run of her own.
First of all, that's a great Christopher Nolan reference, so salute to you. Phenomenal movie. But I think you're right. And you know what? I also love that Natty is this deep into her career and is still finding ways to evolve. I have been clamoring, and I think a lot of people have been, for Bloodsport Natty. When are we going to see her on Raw or on SmackDown? This woman, for people who aren't familiar, I don't know what it is, but when she drops the Alia and just becomes Natty, she locks in on a level that I don't think we've seen. And that's what I want to see. I want to see a very vicious version of Natty in the ring. So I'm excited to see where this goes for her. But you're right. I'm glad we're spending some time talking about the Women's Rumble because it is such a great field. And I will say, I truly think the women were the highlight of 2025. And I think they will continue to be of 2026 on the main roster. They've truly been incredible. And I think Natty, as someone who's been in the game for a long time, we often hear that phrase, adapt or die. And I think she's someone who has been around for a long time and she's finding ways to adapt still. So she's going to be a player, someone that Maxine is going to have to be worried about. But I love that these two have gone at it time and time again in the dungeon, and we're going to see a glimpse of that very, very soon.
First of all, I love
low-key legend.
The low-key legend, and I love the way you phrase that. It's like the old WWE shirts. You could just say, get the Alia out. You know what I mean? that could be the Natty shirt. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those classic scenarios, right, where you find out, like, no. I've taught you everything that you know, but I haven't taught you everything that I know. And you go to the element of like, what is the thing that Natty hasn't shared? What is that little part that she doesn't put into the training sessions of the dungeon that allow her, that when it's time to show up, to be like, oh, no. I didn't teach you this trick. I didn't teach you that trick. Or maybe I just didn't prepare you to be with somebody who has the ability to do this. You know, Natalya comes across really sweet, really wonderful human being, happy to be there, but she's also a heart. And I think people forget that too much. She's a heart that's been doing this for her whole life and has had, I mean, a ton of struggle, a ton of dirt under the fingernails to get into the position that she's in. And I mean, really, like, if you read her book, like, her dad told her that something about the Hart family is that nobody in the Hart family ever beat the house. And that means, like, you know, leaving your mark on the business and then coming out the winner. And maybe Natalya, in the process of writing this book, is going, wait a minute, what's my legacy? Is my legacy helping everybody else, or is my legacy taking it for me? And that could be the thing that is, I mean, I don't know. I don't pretend to understand this level of aggression, but that could be the thing. Whatever it is, I mean, it's beyond compelling to see this person finally start to show themselves on Monday Night Raw.
I'm so pumped about it. We've been waiting for the low-key version, this side of Natalya, Natty, to come out. We saw those montages before of the training sessions in the dungeon with Maxine and Natty, and now it seems like this is what we're gonna get. But Sam, you're the one who always tells me that everything counts.
Everything
and as
counts.
you were talking about this, I remember a specific interaction before Survivor Series War Games between Becky Lynch and Asuka as they were walking on the ramp. And at the time, I thought, you know, maybe this just has to do with War Games, and maybe this is something that we look past. But now that I'm thinking of a backstage tonight at Raw, seeing those two once again having an interaction, I don't know, it just brought me back to that moment. So that's my everything counts little nugget of the night.
Time is a circle. It is absolutely a circle. And by the way, how about this? We should bring up that the same way Maxine had that sort of dream come true moment where, you know, everybody loved Maxine and everybody had fun watching Maxine, and she was just a fun, relatable character, and then all of a sudden is able to break through that thing and become the Intercontinental Champion. As just as that goes away, and who knows what's next for Maxine, her teammates on the Alpha Academy, Otis and Tozawa, who I feel like for a long time, maybe not taken the most seriously as competitors, maybe it was just, you know, great when it's time for ha-has, great when it's time for fun, but, you know, they're not really going to beat anybody. All of a sudden, rise up the ranks and become the number one contenders. We're looking at a future where we're going to see the Usos versus Otis and Tozawa kind of right there in the shadow of Maxine. And I've got to wonder, after seeing Maxine, if they're like, wait, if she can do that, maybe we can do that for ourselves against a team like the Usos.
I love the way tonight that Corey Graves was illustrating on commentary the history that both Tozawa and Otis have and how they've shaped wrestling. And yes, they're funny, and yes, they're entertaining, but they really had an impact on this business, and they should be taken seriously. And we saw that interaction a couple of weeks ago backstage where the Usos were sort of laughing at them a little bit, and they were just having fun back and forth. No, you guys don't want to take us on. So I was happy to see them emerge tonight. And I mean, just a crazy tag match with I mean, American Made. Gosh, those guys were impressive throughout as well. But seeing the Alpha Academy come out, it's exciting.
It really is. And I'm so glad that, look, for a lot of people, I don't know how many wrestling fans got to see 205 Live Akira Tozawa. That dude can go. You've seen him backstage being funny, doing silly things for quite some time now. But make no mistake, he can still go. And I've been in the ring with Otis. That dude is a tank. So look, we've seen them be very fun, very silly, do a lot of that. And I can bear witness to the fact that it is easy when you're more comedic. It is easy to get lost in the shuffle, or for people to think, oh, they're just the comedy act. They get 30 seconds, sometimes 10 seconds in a backstage. Those guys, they go out and entertain you, and then we ship them to the back. I think they reminded people today that they are competitors and they are great at what they do. And I think when those two lock in, when they focus, I think they're good enough. I think if they catch the Usos when they're not at their best, and I also want to take a second to acknowledge, I don't know what Jimmy's going through right now, but I hope he's okay. If Jimmy and Jay aren't as focused as they need to be, I think it's very possible for Otis and Tozawa to become tag champions. So I am so glad that they were able to not just be the comedic relief and got to show that they are indeed very, very talented when it comes to being in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I just got this tweet from Akira Tozawa saying, it's been about 10 years since I came to WWE. To be honest, I haven't left the results people expected, and sometimes I get laughed at like you're still in WWE, but I love professional wrestling. I love WWE. That's why no matter what people said, I kept going, and now it's time. It's time to finally make it happen. Otis, thank you for being my partner. Maxine, thank you for always supporting us. We will become champions. I promise you that. I love you all. You love to see, and of course, that's immediately replied by somebody on Twitter named Austin Creed saying, boo. Actually, that was a question that I have for you, E. If for, you know, we were in a different universe and somehow you were still a member of the New Day, would you have agreed to wear a train? Like Xavier and Kofi wore like a bridal train to the ring?
I don't think that's my look. Yeah, I'm not poo-pooing it. But for me, I don't think that's me. I don't think that I kind of, I had the long cape that kind of, dragged on the floor a little bit. It's train adjacent, but that's about as long as I need to be. That's it. That's the limit for me.
I think staying train adjacent is probably a safe bet for you, to tell you the truth. I think that's good. I mean, it worked for you.
Have been just something to marvel at.
Yeah.
Questionable at best.
To say the least.
The gloves, the hat, the train.
I forgot about the hat. How did I almost forget about that hat? I know. It
literally would take up your entire basement.
It would take the whole thing. I mean, there's no way to place it. I need to clear out the garage just to put the hat in it. and then forget about it. I mean, I don't know where they store this stuff. Those trains it looked like they were about 10 feet long a piece. I thank God you don't hang around those two anymore, Biggie. It's nothing but problems. Nothing
Yeah,
but
those
problems.
days are long over. Thankfully, life has improved a whole lot.
Good.
It really has. Thank you.
Good for you. And I'm going to tell you something. Life is about to improve for everybody. Even if life is going great right now, it's going to improve even more. And that's because for WWE and sports fans, the world's #1 sports fan festival, Fanatics Fest, well, it's making its return to New York City. Fanatics is bringing you closer to the league's team superstars and athletes that you love across 4, count them, 4 action-packed days in July. You can meet your favorite WWE superstars. Fanatics just announced, right? Listen to this. Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Liv Morgan, Jey Uso, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Randy Orton, Stephanie Vaquer, Tiffany Stratton, and Bianca Belair will all be in attendance, as well as big names across sports like WWE superfan Cam Scatabo. You'll also be able to get your hands on exclusive merch and catch live podcasts. Tickets are on sale now. And for you guys, the Raw Recap fans, you can get a 10% discount by using Raw Recap 10 at checkout. Get those tickets now. It is an unforgettable experience. We're going to be back with you to recap, to preview Royal Rumble later in the week. But before we get there, while it's fresh, while we're fresh off Raw, while names have been announced, while we've seen these storylines progress, while we've seen these matches happen, I want to go to both of you. Tell me, who do you think is going to win the men's and the women's Royal Rumble? I'll go first to give you guys a second since I'm springing this on you. For me, right now, today, as I sit here with you in 3 different locations at the height of technology, I've got Braun Breaker and I've got Liv Morgan as my Royal Rumble winners. Am I willing to refinance my home? No, there are too many options here this year. There are years where I have been willing to refinance my home. As a matter of fact, I wish I did last year because I'm the only one I know that actually picked Jey Uso to win the Royal Rumble last year. And I was really, really proud of that. This year, I've got Braun Breaker and Liv Morgan. It looks like you're deep in thought. Who do you have?
Yeah, you know what? I'm still going to take a night to mull over the paperwork, but I'm still going to Obafemi
Okay.
to win the men's Royal Rumble. And you know what? I'm going to go with the Prodigy.
Whoa!
Yes. Well, what was it last year that she went an hour in the
Yeah,
Rumble?
she was the longest one. Yeah, she broke the record. The record was set during the match,
Yeah.
and then Roxanne broke it.
Yeah.
A very, very talented woman who I think I love when the Rumble is a lot of people who are just really talented, but you're not expecting that this is the year, but you see them take that leap. I think this is the year that Roxanne Perez takes a big leap.
Megan?
So I think on the men's side, Gunter,
Whew.
as I said earlier in the show,
Whew.
it's just I can't pick against anybody but Gunter right now. I just can't. I think Gunter's going to win the Royal Rumble, and unfortunately, much to the chagrin of all of us, retire AJ Styles. It's going to be a tough night.
You're
thinking about you. I'm not hoping for it.
You
I'm
want
just telling
pain.
what I
You
think
want
is going to
pain
happen.
and
I'm not telling you
negativity.
what I want to happen. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen. This is not my desires.
Yeah, right.
And then on the women's side, I really would like to pick Liv Morgan with Sam, but I'm going to go with Io Sky.
Whoa, wait till Becky finds out. Well, thank you all.
Listen, I already got scolded by E once for backing Becky.
Well,
I wouldn't say
okay.
scolded.
Well, guess
It
what?
just-
Guess what? Becky's going to be pretty upset.
She will.
She's going to be really upset about that. That whoever, it really feels like a little bit of a, whoever's around, I'll go in that direction, I'll go in this direction, a
Well,
little
you wanna know the real
wishy-washy,
reason I'm
little
picking Io Sky?
flip-flopper,
Because
little
tonight-
flip-floppy.
Tonight in the tag team match, I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen two people have the type of chemistry that Rhea Ripley and Io Sky have right now. There's something about the two of them together, whether they're a tag team or they're opponents in a match. It is pure magic. I mean, I spent this past week watching Unreal, and we were brought back to that main event at Evolution, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, and I was just so glued to rewatching that match and thinking about being in the audience and the way it made us all feel. And I'm like, gosh, I would kill to see Rhea Ripley against Io Sky once again. But then tonight on Raw, they're as a tag team, and I go, wow, this is almost equally as magical. And I just want to see a way that one of them, either Rhea or Io, is in the world title picture. And Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble a couple years ago. So I think maybe it's Io's turn.
Wow. I love it.
That's why I'm picking Io.
I love it. I wouldn't be
My
mad.
heart wants Becky Lynch. Listen, this is not who I want to win. I'm picking what I think will happen.
Oof. Becky's going to be very, very upset.
Oh,
but look,
stop.
that's
you're going to spread it.
That's your well. I mean, look, maybe I'll put the clip out, but this is just to promote the show. That's all that is. That's just standard. That's just standard promotion. It is always a pleasure. Thank you for hanging out with us for the whole show this time. This has been great. We look forward to seeing you on the countdown and on the post show out there in Riyadh for the Royal Rumble. Megan and I will be back later in the week with a Royal Rumble preview show. We'll see if we still land in the same spot. Don't forget to let us know in the comments what you think, who you think is going to win the Royal Rumble on the men's and the women's side. Subscribe across all audio podcast platforms, and we'll see you later in the week. Have a good one, everybody.